Joe Storm in the building, shutting it down. Thank you, bro. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the love.
Shout out to
No
Diamond
doubt.
Black.
No doubt.
He ain't light skinned no more.
Light skinned people are losing now because Diamond's no longer light skinned. Shout out to Albie Shaw and Chris Brown.
We'll holler at Diamond in December.
We'll holler at Diamond. I don't know with that 10. That might have to be like January before we can be back to normal. Keep going till November. Oh well, see.
What
so
you got, girl, down there? Because that's when a lot of people go down there. He laughs. See?
Amanda in ATL.
He says,
reality show coming to you.
But he didn't answer my question though.
Yeah. Oh, he posted about that. You posted no, but you posted about the reality show. You posted about something that okay.
Antoine, get your phone together, bro.
It's every time, because it's the charge thing. Like every time you move, it goes.
I ain't moved.
It's that dang on cord you bought me.
Don't come for me.
We're back on Baltimore Flava Radio, y'all, and we have back with us we was back. Come on, man, stop playing. This dude got jokes. My girl, Ladi Glori, is back in the building with us. Welcome, honey. We missed you. Yeah, you have to take that off. Bam, just hit resume. Hit resume. Yes, it has been a minute. We haven't had you here since our 1 year anniversary when you came through and rocked the joint live with us.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
no. Oh,
that's
right. You were here the first, actually, our first show on RadioOnFire, I think.
Yeah,
like one of the first two that you were there. That's
what was
right.
that, October?
No, that was like we came here in March, so you were here in like March, April last year.
Of last year?
Yeah. Was it? Well, at any rate, it's been a minute. It's been too long. So anyway, welcome back. Yeah, you haven't been in a new spot. You know what I'm saying? We've upgraded. Diamond.
I decorated.
You did. Well, you did a nice job, girl.
HGTV.
I'm lying.
If anything, she might have hung the RadioOnFire signs, but other than that,
no, I just suggested covering something back here.
Got you. Oh yeah, shout out to Luscious. had to cover up. What's been going on, man? You
keep them sunglasses.
Came out to the Baltimore Purge Monday night and set the show off and did your thing. How was that experience?
Awesome. I mean,
Pointing
that invited me some weeks before, and we had a pretty dope relationship. Okay. I had done another show that she did with the Baltimore girls out in that might have been a year ago. So it was like a reunion kind of thing with me and her too. So it was pretty dope.
Pointing at
they had a whole lot of dope artists out there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Shout out to all of them. You out there pointing at dudes' crotches during your set.
It was.
Like, okay.
He was standing there. I mean, you know, if it's relevant.
It didn't quite
if it's relevant. It's relevant.
It
you feel me?
Quite X-rated, but as she was getting to the point of her piece where she was talking about the male part.
I wasn't just talking about the male part. I was talking about how much emphasis is put on for as far as how men define themselves. That's what we.
You can recap it. I would love to hear.
Yeah, if that's the one you want to do tonight, that would be cool.
Yeah, it was called Genocide. I had written it. God, I think I was 18, and I was having a whole bunch of dreams of genocide. Y'all want me to?
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Why not?
You want to do it now or you want to wait till then? Hold on. Do it at the end so Diamond can make sure he's fully prepared. Oh, you ready?
Yeah,
okay. Hit it now. So you just do it on the fly like this.
All right.
Ladi Glori, y'all. Genocide.
Last night I closed my eyes and realized these dreams of genocide. I had dreams of genocide from the streets of the South Side to hell's furies and cries. Burned flesh limping across the streets of temptation. Heads blown through the bullets of frustration. And the marksman sick with the symptoms of being his very own murder victim. I had dreams of genocide, her sheets dripping with a need to scratch that itch. His fingernails digging wounds and fulfilling her wish. When relieved, she smiles, internals happy and lit. Externally unprepared for the limitations of a whore or a bitch. Best believe she's a lady, should be treated as such. But as a lady, she was asking and not demanding enough. She allowed the perimeters of her mind, I guess, to fill with lust, and I guess the depths of her vagina wasn't worth too much. Heights of her soul now soft to the punch. She's the answer to the predator's prayer for lunch. Ignorant to her world to more than one, she forgot about the Trinity, Holy Spirit, Father, and Son, which put the bullets fire ready in Satan's gun, and now the war of her race is over. The genocide's been done. I had dreams of his genocide. Yeah. Standing on every corner trying to get money quick. Manhood determined by the length and width of his dick. But doing no wrong, will he ever admit he's a ticking time bomb and his race will be missed? Fighting on Satan's side to fulfill his worldly wish. Not realizing the sale of his soul leaves no entitlements, and his petty excuses become impediment. They will never serve any spiritual benefits. His road will lead no footprints, just sediments of nothingness, and maybe a few compliments from the 3 6s. Lying on his back, scared with anticipation, recognizing that a gun couldn't better his situation. See, dreams now are figments of imagination. See, thug was understatement, robbing him of purity and greatness. If only he would have sat back, laid back, and shown God some patience. Then realization sets in that his life after death is of his own making. So as he dwindles away in eternal damnation, mad at the world for his own hellish creation, I open my eyes and realize, man, these weren't never dreams, a genocide. So there was nothing was X-rated.
Right.
It was in its place, and I just pointed to dude's genitals because he was standing there. You feel me?
No, see, I never said.
I
never said it was anything sexual. I just made a point that she.
Basically, she went in the crowd and grabbed yo up by that's how Antoine.
Well, by the time we get to the 10th person, yeah, it probably will be. Yo, did you hear Lady Glory? She was
grabbed that man's promise.
She grabbed that man's promise, and he had dope though. Yeah, that's real hot, man. Oh my gosh, So what's been going on since the last time we had you up in the building? It's been a lot because every time
we had March, so I did. It had to be after March. So I've done 2 plays since then. One was Human Art, Words and Images to End Rape Culture. You know, my passion for rape culture. Then we had this year, I was in the Artscape Festival with a company called Baltimore was the name of the play. And it was by S.A. Johnson. It was really good. It was just us celebrating being Baltimoreans and what that means, especially in the wake of everything that's been going on. I don't like to say recently because this has been a long time coming.
Definitely.
But with the wake of the interest that has been taking place. So I performed my piece, Human, in that, which is, about unity. So that was good. I did this year for rape culture, I did the survivor quilt. Are y'all familiar with the survivor quilt? It's when pretty much what they do is they take a whole lot of rape survivors and they have you take a piece of a quilt.
Okay.
And what they do at the end is they sew them all together and they put it out for an expo, and they normally call a whole lot of performers out to, perform for it. Well, this particular quilt went from, oh my goodness, blocks and blocks on North Avenue all the way down Maryland. It was a big thing. So it was real emotional for a whole lot of people, but I got to perform at that. I was blessed to be able to do that. And then it followed with a Red Emma's benefit show. So I did that. A whole lot of festivals, a whole lot of shows. That's really all that's been going on. And me finding my truth. I lost my father in December. And so I've been doing a whole lot of recapping about what life means since then and what it means to truly love people. And I've had a whole lot go on. It's just been a whole lot of learning, So that's pretty much what's been going on. I mean, if I went down to shows, we'd be here forever. Because that's how I do.
So a lot of things that have led up to the plight of a poet.
Oh yes. The Plight of a Poet was actually written about 2 years ago. I misread The Plight of a Poet. Now, the thing about The Plight of a Poet, it was not actually written in 2014, 2015 when it came out. I've been writing since I was 13. So what I did was I compiled a few of my works that defined the movement I was in from around the time I started performing until present. So there's a lot of it's more of a position statement, more so than anything. That's what the plight of a poet is. There's some rape culture stuff in there because I myself am a survivor of sexual assault. So, you know, it's a whole lot of different things about women empowerment in there. And a little bit, I think I put in there about definition and how we treat each other, and how we define the struggles that we've had. Because with mine, I was not penetrated and whatnot. So there was a whole lot of it's so weird how we have a habit of taking a measuring stick. You know, you see it in any struggle, a measuring stick. I struggled more than you, or this was more painful for me than it was for you. And so it's a whole lot of different things that I had encapsulated really in the book, and that was one of the things. But it's a really good book. You know, position statement, how I feel about society, where I stand, because I've always considered myself a sore thumb chick. Because that's how I stick out. I've always been a different kind of person, and so. I live different, and I took that and I captured all of that in the book. I ain't had no complaints. Everybody loves it. You know, I sell it at every show, and it's online on the book patch. All you gotta do is look it up. So,
and you write so much. Is there going to be like a follow up to this?
The follow up will actually be a play. Oh. I have been working because I'm a performer. Just as much of a performer as I am a writer, a poet. Both of them are kin in my spirit. But the follow-up is going to be a play. I haven't titled it yet, but it's gonna be a like you said, a follow-up. It's going to start where I stopped here, and it's going to have a little bit more poetry in it that I've been working on, that I've been creating. It's weird how we move as artists and the growth that takes place between our struggles. You know, my mentor calls them little W's, you know, to celebrate each win. Mm-hmm. And so in between those wins, I have a whole lot of failures. And I always say you can only succeed one at a time. And so with the failures in the middle, I've taken and organized that poetry, and I've created a set for it. I haven't really decided what I wanted to name, but it's going to be dope, I think. It's going to be real dope. But I got a whole lot of writing to do, you know.
And so, you always creating. And you just actually talked a little bit about your mentor, and I remember you mentioning her to me before. Talk a little bit about the effect that working with the mentor has had in helping you grow. She's awesome. Her name is Stacy Smoot. She's run all kinds of businesses, but really she was a friend of my sister. And I expressed interest in starting to perform and be in a feature and everything. And she kind of took me under her wing, and she explained what it meant to be an entrepreneur, for you to run your own business and for you to be self-sufficient and for you to kind of let go of the expectations society has for you. You know, a lot of people don't really think about it. College, and not to say that there's anything wrong with college or being educated, but college is for the workforce. It's not for you to create something of your own. Everything all of the things that they're teaching you are so that you can be successful in someone else's workplace. And so it's a whole lot of different things that she's taught me on the journey. And, you know, that mainly being one of them, and being an entrepreneur is a lot different than the 9 to 5, because first of all, you're completely relying on yourself. That's the first thing. And secondly, everything that's wrong with you gonna come up in your business. Everything. If you have a problem with timeliness, you're gonna have a problem with timeliness in your business. If you have any insecurities about the way you look, the way you dress, the way you move about in the world, the way people perceive you, you're gonna have a big issue. But the difference is when you go to the workplace, you can hide those things because you're wearing somebody else's tag. But when you go out and you represent yourself, all of those things make way. And they make themselves apparent in your business. And so it forces you to really reflect on yourself, who you are as a woman, who you are as a man, who you are as a Black man, what you do in the community. All of these things show up because people are looking to see those things, who you are. And so in my walk with
being self-sufficient and doing this thing on my own, I've learned a whole lot about myself. A whole lot.
Message.
Yeah, but she's definitely played a huge role.
Definitely. You had something to say?
No, so all right. I have a spoken word artist under my label, and I was just trying to. I asked her to explain the difference between a poet and a spoken word artist.
I got you.
Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so as a spoken word artist, there are a couple differences for me, and this is just my definition, and not everyone is going to feel the same. So as a spoken word artist, when I write my pieces, depending on if I'm being more of just a poet or a performer, you're going to write it in a way that it can be received vocally and give yourself enough room to express yourself physically. So a lot of the stuff that I wrote in my book, I had to rewrite because when you're reading it, you can't see me. And so it doesn't flow the same as just me doing a spoken word piece. And let's say you're a person for rhyme. So if I speak it fast, you're going to catch the rhyme. But if you're reading it, it's a whole bunch of words in between. You're not going to catch what line rhymed with what. It's a little bit different. The other thing is not every poet is a spoken word artist. A spoken word artist has a bit of a stage presence that if you don't consider yourself a poet, I would imagine that you're leaning more toward just paper. It's kind of like the difference between a poetry reading and an open mic poetry set. It's completely different. I'm not standing up there at a podium reading poetry to you. I'm performing it. So it becomes more of a theatrical performance than it does just reading. So, and then a lot of us are like MCs and all of that stuff. So it leans more toward the musical realm and more toward the theatrical realm, because when you as an audience are listening, you're no longer just judging based on the poetry, you're judging based on the stage presence. But if you got Maya Angelou on the stage, you're not really judging her performance per se. Not to say that she wasn't great, because she was, but I wouldn't consider Maya Angelou been a spoken word artist. She was a poet, and so that would be more of the difference. Like Untasaki, I would lean her more towards spoken word art, even though she was a poet, me personally, because of all the performances that she did. So it's more of lyrical and everything. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it definitely does.
That's an interesting take on it. I never thought about it like that. Yeah. So talk a little bit about this pet project that you have.
Oh, this next project?
This
okay.
Pet project
this
that
pet
you have.
project.
You know what I'm talking about.
Pet project?
Your show that you want to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to put me out there like that. Okay, so
speak it into existence.
Yes, we are going to speak it into existence. Okay. So I have this idea. When I go to, this is bothering me. When I go to open mics, I notice that there are a whole lot of people that are sitting in the audience, but I never thought about the fact that there's a whole lot of people sitting in the audience that are actually poets but never get on stage. And so when I was younger, I used to have this thing with a friend of mine. It was called a telepoet, where I would call a whole bunch of my friends and try to get them to perform on the telephone. So the telepoet died out with our relationship, me and my friend. So a little bit later, I was running into people in the audience, and they were telling me about all of their poetry. So what I was thinking is to provide a platform for those people who have stage fright and who aren't able. It took me about 5 years to come on stage, who are unable because of fear or whatever reason to go on stage, that they could call in and share their poetry, do it under whatever name they want to, and restart the whole thing, the telepoet, so that would give people the option to still perform, but maybe they just do it vocally as opposed to standing on the stage and,
Which if there was like a tele-rap thing, I would do that because I think I got bars, but I would never stand on stage and try to, you know what I'm saying? I would never be comfortable enough to do what you do, Jay. So something like that would work good for me.
I thought you was going to battle last week. I guess. You was like, hold up.
Nah. Because,
you going in like that, Antoine?
Nah, because You remember Kelvin from the anniversary show when
Kelvin's
he just think he
Kelvin
got
rap
bars.
now.
I would have battled him last week because I know he can't rap. But like on a serious level, like that's something that I would be comfortable doing, as opposed to thinking I'm gonna go to somebody's open mic or go to an event like the Purge and get up and just perform in front of a bunch of people that do it. And they be looking at me like, come on, bro.
And I'm hoping like that'll encourage people, because on there, what I'm planning to do is, you know, let everyone know where the open mics are. And hopefully that'll get people to come out and you know, really tell their truth. Because really and truthfully, because
I ran across so many people that I'd be like, you know, what do you do? They'd be like, I write poetry. I'm like, okay, well, there's an open mic going on. You want to wrote? No, I don't do.
They're not.
I just write it. I just write. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because
no, it's just some people can't. Not everybody can handle being on stage. You know, it's like some people get real frightened and probably faint or pass out.
Some people, but I think the majority of people is you know how, like, I don't know too many people that their worst fear has actually come to life. Like most of the time we spend a whole lot of time in fear and it never really happens. And I think that once we change that picture, that colorful picture that they have of that moment, and turn it into a black and white one, they'll be able to creep out and kind of tell their truth. Because part of the problem that we have in a society is nobody speaks. You know what I'm saying? We wait for other people to speak and then we speak. And spoken word is a very potent way of speaking. And it's a very strong way of speaking. And there's a whole lot of solutions to a lot of our problems. And I feel like encouraging people to speak out more will have more people to be, some that don't need to be as brave as they are. And then it'll cause people who are in the right to be a little bit more brave, you know, and especially with like open mics, like people are not very judgmental out here. They aren't, you know, you might go somewhere else, another state, and they're going to be a little bit harder on you. But for the most part, you get on stage and you spit your truth, people are congratulating you for doing it. And then what you're doing is providing perspective to the audience. We got a whole lot of nonsense going on and a whole lot of things need to be said. And so I feel like it'll come out on the edge of somebody's pen and it needs to flow into the audience behind the mic. But, you know,
maybe it'll flow on the telephone.
And it flow on the telephone. Exactly. So, and that's another thing. That's another thing.
He said,
shoot, you could hand your work off to somebody. If that even bothers you, hand your work off to somebody and let them call. But what it does though is it does those voices that are not being heard because they can't go to a stage. We'll hear those opinions.
That's
and those
a cool
thoughts.
Concept. I like that. I really like that. I wanna be like on the phone just listening to some of that stuff. I'm not gonna actually.
Jen got bars too.
Jen got bars for days. Yeah. Mixtape still coming.
That's actually a good idea though for me, because you know I only can rap when I'm been drinking, and I don't want to drink and drive in me. So
call in and slur them words, girl.
Yeah, she does. That's the funny part about it. She does be clear.
I don't know what I be saying, but I watch it back like, dang.
Because the one when me, Chrissy, and whoever was in the car that night, and I was like, yo, she sound like Lady of Rage up on this.
I still got that in my phone.
Off the dome, yo. Off the dome. You still got that?
I can't let it go because they show it to me every year on my
Off
birthday.
It only happens on your birthday.
And for some reason, I really go in on my birthday, I guess. I don't know.
The turn up is real on her birthday. So
like, yeah, I got bars.
I'm driving in a car. I think I'm gonna be nah, she really be flowing like she thinks she Nicki Minaj when she get in that zone. It'd be crazy. But no, that's
I had another idea too. And this is one I actually want to do soon. I just have to find a venue. It's called A Penny for Your Thoughts. So you remember me telling you about that. So my idea, because not that I'm being petty or anything, because I'm not mad at nobody or no open mic I've ever been to. But in my opinion, if you take the craft seriously, anywhere you come, you need to get paid, in my opinion. And so what it would do, so a penny for your thoughts is made. So pretty much a person coming in and sharing their talent will receive money off of the door. So let's say it costs $10 get in. I turn each one of those dollars into pennies. So you have the audience, and as each performer comes up and gives their gift, you decide on who you want to give your pennies, who you don't want to, whatever. We put in a stash aside for those who don't get nothing, because it's always gonna be one where they like, girl or boy, that was crazy.
I don't want you to
but but what it would do is you could take those fake little pennies or whatever paper, whatever it is that we put into those jars, and designate it to those audiences. The bottom line is it feeds the starving artists. I hate that. I really hate that term, because we feed a lot of people. But what it does is it honors the artists that come in, and it provides them with an incentive to continue to come and continue to share their gift. Because sometimes when you out and you just hustling and you come in and people calling you and you showing up and you know,
gas tank is on
and the gas tank is on E, and they don't want to pay you, and they don't have $5 for your gas. You know, sometimes it wears on the spirit, and people who are the most hungry. We keep going, and
I was gonna say,
and we thrive. And go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but I was gonna say, and I think that's actually what sets the real artists apart, because they continue to come out knowing that they're not necessarily going to get any monetary value from it.
Exactly.
Like, I've been to quite a few of those ciphers, like the Baltimore Purge that we were at. And I mean, these are artists that I've seen around everywhere that I know for a fact get paid, to do performances and get paid for their music and everything. So the fact that they're still willing to come out and rock in a set like that, just because of the love that they have for hip hop, or in your case, the love that you have for spoken word, I think that's awesome.
Right. And to a certain degree, like there are some people who start, but they die out early. They come out and they're just entitled. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I should have this already. Right. I did this for free. I did that for free. So who cares about me? Who gonna respect me? These are things that you have to earn to a certain degree. But I do believe, and this is just my opinion, I do believe that every artist is due the respect of if it's $2. Absolutely. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's just so much that we give on a regular basis, and we give and we give and we give. And not to say that there isn't a return, because there definitely is. I mean, it took me a while to start having a cash flow. It really did. But I think that it would be a good thing for me to do, to pay homage to the poets who don't feel that they're being appreciated, or the hip hop artist that does not feel appreciated. And then, again, that's not me being petty, because there are certain dues that you have to pay as an artist, and you have to. Thea Manye, she was one of the HBO poets, and I had emailed her one time because I was just getting so frustrated and so upset, just really just tired. And so she said, when you have those moments, it's just a test of your gut to see how hungry you are. And although they're going to have that regardless to whether whether I give them my $5 or not, they're going to have that test in the street. But I feel like I'm in a space where I can do that. So that's going to be good.
I hope you bring both of them to fruition, because those are two real good concepts. And I think they're both platforms that can encourage people to kind of come outside of their shell and, start getting up on the stage and doing different things. So
and everybody loves a place where they can come and get love. And I mean, anywhere I go, that's what it's going to be about, love.
Absolutely. Awesome, man. Awesome. So let everybody know how they can stay in contact with you, how they can get the book, how they can catch you the next time you're doing something around in the area, all of that.
I have a couple shows coming up. I'm so sorry. I always have them in front of me. But if you go on Facebook, you can catch me, Ladi Glori. You can also catch me on Twitter. You can also catch me on Instagram. And if you want my book that is unsigned, you can get it on thebookpatch.com. Here's the sign. And you could just type in Ladi Glori, Ladi Glori. And you could type in Misread. Miss is spelled MS period, READ, big play on words. Misread, the plight of a poet. So, and if you want to get it from me personally, just send me a message on Facebook or email me at book ladiglory@gmail.com, spelled the same. And I could go ahead and mail one out. We just got to do the PayPal thing and I'll sign in.
And as always, y'all can get them from Baltimore Flava Radio.
Yep,
for $59.99. We take ours off the top. Get ours off the top. We're going to make sure she get her $15, but we're going to get ours off the top. That's what it is. Yo, I love you so much, man.
I love you back. This is awesome.
I always support. I love everything that you're doing. I really support your movement. You know, the door is always open. So we appreciate you each and every time that you come out to bless us, man.
Yes. It feels like a quarterly thing.
Absolutely.
I love this.
We can make it quarterly.
I love
we
this.
can do it quarterly.
I love this. And you have a unforgettable personality. Like you really do. You really do.
It's time for a break.
No, she's really
It's
good.
time for a
Every
break.
once in a while, like no, there was some stuff that she said last time that really still resonates. I'd be laughing at like still today.
Really?
Like you were talking about. No, last time I was here, you was sitting over there and you had poked your lips out and you was doing this little twerking thing and you was like, they lips be all the way out. It's just different. It's different stuff. So
We just renegotiated our contract to get her back. We just renegotiated to get her back, and now you don't pump that head up, and she gonna think.
Nah, cause that's why some people don't be liking me for real. That messed up my ego.
no, that's how you know you're doing something right. That's how you know you're doing it right.
Trying to be cool.
Everybody like Jen.
Everybody loves you.
You watch too much TV. You got a theme song.
You know it.